Morning world, 9 o'clock in the morning, 18th of September 2013. This last few days has been one of those times with Venus, Saturn together in Scorpio with the node that is bringing certain things increasingly more and more obvious into individuals' lives. I mean, I'm not going to bore you with what's going on in my life because A, it's personal and private, and B, you wouldn't be interested. But if my life is representative of many others, then the last few days have had quite a degree of pressure and intensity around them. Of course, I've got Pluto opposite my sun, so I would say that I'm on the inside looking out. And that's the crux of astrology. How can I be totally objective about someone's chart? There are certain things that make an astrologer, astrologically speaking. And this isn't a definitive statement. But really, to be a good astrologer, especially someone who does a type of on-the-spot astrology like I do, you need to have a quotient of Gemini in your horoscope that's active. And there also needs to be interesting contacts to Uranus in your horoscope, and sometimes also a strong Saturn because of the need for the discipline and the concentration. That's sometimes what makes an astrologer. That's more the day-by-day astrology, such as that I like to practice. Then there's the more in-depth types of astrology, which I personally understand but don't practice. The psychological astrology, the transpersonal astrology. And here, of course, any astrologer here has got to have not only an element of strong Gemini to keep and a strong Uranus to keep the astrological input alive, but also an in-depth relationship with at least Neptune and or Pluto. And often, surprisingly enough, contacts between these two planets and the midheaven. There is no set pattern as to what gives a person an interest in astrology. Astrology, as if I personify astrology as having a muse, or I sometimes flippantly say that astrology is my only true mistress. When she found me, and I say she with a personification, when astrology found me and offered me a window and I took it, it changed my life forever. I've no regrets. I would recommend anyone to do the same. But you'll never see the world the same way as anyone else. Astrologers will always have, once they're good enough, a capacity of objectivity, detachment and impersonality. So much so that sometimes they question their own roboticness. And when their own life goes through periods of difficulties or challenges, then on the one hand, the astrology comes in really useful because it enables you to put yourself in a safe place so that you don't flip your lid. On the other hand, it also gives you a real understanding of how the world works and what makes people behave the way they do. There are hundreds of textbooks on astrological patterning out there, and it's very difficult to quantify, even in a whole book. It's impossible to summarize because it is such a fluid, active, magical energy that is constantly changing and constantly evolving. I'm just fortunate enough to be able to sense every so often the tip of it, to be able to surf a wave that comes out of it. I recommend anyone to advise their children to be aware of their horoscope, and if they are interested, then to allow them to develop a knowledge of astrology. I truly believe that if astrology and philosophy were taught in schools at a primary school, junior level, then within a generation we would see an end to religion, an end to warfare, an end to political and economic strife. Everyone would know themselves. Everyone would be aware of their true potential, would know who they really are. There would be no need for mass media, for marketing, for advertising, for promotion, for anything like this. And the world would be a truly unified, integrated, assimilated and holistic place. I cannot argue enough for the cause of astrology. It's been derided, it's been abused, it's been denigrated for 7,000 years. Yet it's survived every political system, every religion. Astrology's always been there and it always will be. Teach your children well. Teach them their chart from an early age. The world needs more astrologers. Catch you later, folks. Bye.